A very good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. I'm Akash Samaru. Central Bank Governor Dr. Alvin Hilaire has been fired. This is confirmed by a senior official within the Ministry of Finance. There is no more information on why this was done and who will be his replacement. Questions were sent to the Office of the President to get further details on the revocation of Dr. Hilaire's appointment. And CNC3 News is awaiting a response. Now, 2 weeks ago, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said that Dr. Hilaire was refusing to divulge information on the top users of foreign exchange in this country. Dr. Alvin Hilaire was appointed governor and chairman of the board of the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago on December 2015. In other news, Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander met with representatives of US-based security and technology firm Guidepost Solutions to discuss strengthening the abilities of this country's security infrastructure. Speaking with CNC3 News after a brief meeting at his office, Minister Alexander said building stronger interconnectivity among different arms of the protective services was among his top priorities.
A list of activities that we can incorporate here, interconnect our service, because we're looking to go digital all over the place. Technology is the way to go. And they would have brought some ideas to us, and we hope in the not too distant future to communicate again.
Attending the meeting was President of Investigations for Guidepost Solutions and former DEA Administrator Lumi Leone, who said in addition to capacity building in technology and cooperation, his company could also offer advice on tackling illicit drug and firearms trafficking in this country.
Certainly that's something we discussed with the minister, but yes, I mean, how do you identify the networks and figure out the best nodes, how to attack the networks, working with all the authorities that are here in TNT and working with all the counterparts that are here in TNT.
And Alexander said the meeting was part of his ministry's commitment to working with all agencies at home and abroad to strengthen partnerships while allowing for a sharing of technical expertise. In Tobago, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine is crediting investments made by the THA for a drop in murders on the island in 2025. Tobago recorded its bloodiest year with 26 murders in 2024, including the island's first ever quadruple murder. But now there is a sharp decline with only 3 murders recorded for the first half of this year, and all 3 cases have been solved. This represents a 72% decline in 2025 so far. Augustine says the progress is no accident. According to him, the Tobago House of Assembly spent millions supporting national security services on the island.
Is a sign to our friends and family in Trinidad that all is not lost and that we can, in fact, reverse a murderous habit. We were there last year. We had 24 largest in our history, and now we are mid-year, approaching the 7th month, and we are way beneath where we were last year at this time. And that is a good sign. But I don't want us to become complacent at all, because sometimes one little thing could become a trigger and could cause us to fall back into the place where we were at.
Augustine says the THA will continue investing in community development, social services and youth training. He warns it's no time to get complacent, adding that 3 is still too many. According to Augustine, the Assembly spent $1.4 million on vehicles to aid national security operations through national security is not legally under the Assembly's remit, according to the THA Act. The Assembly also funded accommodation for officers and upgraded prison and police facilities. Augustine told the Chamber during a plenary sitting that he was prepared to be flagged by the Auditor General for taking on a central government responsibility to keep Tobagonians safe. Well, 3 of the 5 Venezuelan nationals who escaped from the immigration detention center on Tuesday were recaptured last evening. Police reported that around 2:45 on Tuesday afternoon, the men made a hole in the roof and fled. They were discovered missing around 3 p.m. during a coordinated manhunt. The men were held in Valencia around 11 p.m. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara was on site yesterday searching for the men, and police are calling on the public to report any sightings or suspicious activities by calling 999-555 or the nearest police station. Now to this. The verbal lashing between the former and current public utilities ministers continue as Colm Imbert is calling Minister Barry Padarat a flat-out liar after being accused of exorbitant spending to refurbish the ministry's office. During a PNM media briefing a short while ago, Imbert said he agreed to a budget of over $100,000 because of the condition of the flooring and wanted better conditions for the staff.
He could say what he wants. Another untruth was this nonsense about purchasing paintings for $30,000 and then paying $35,000 to install them. That too is a lie. So I really don't want to get into this. I will send you the estimate that I approved. You can see for yourself what I approved.
Meanwhile, PNM's General Secretary-elect Foster Cummings defended the voter turnout of the PNM's internal election by attributing it to the fact that the post of political leader was uncontested. During a media briefing held at the office of the opposition leader in Port-au-Prince yesterday, Cummings revealed the party's last internal election only garnered 2,000 more voters.
The overall turnout for the election was approximately 7,100 persons. That is about 2025 internal election. I make the point that the position of political leader was uncontested. When the position of political leader is contested, that sort of drives persons to want to come out and participate. We went out to elect the remaining members of the executive minus the political leader who nobody challenged. We had an election in 2022 and the turnout was 9,100 and the position of political leader was contested.
Foster Cummings retained his position of General Secretary, receiving 4,122 votes, beating Roger Boynes and Tova Linsandi. Prior to the internal election, many people were calling for his resignation. To crime news now, the man who was found dead at an outside bathroom at Goodwill Street in Enterprise on Monday has been identified. Police have revealed that the man is Ronaldo Batiste of Myers Lane, Enterprise. According to the police, he was stabbed and beaten. And in an unrelated incident, the body of a man yet to be identified was found at Mac Trace, Valencia on Tuesday morning. Police reported that around 11:45 a.m., a passerby found the deceased. He is described as being of African descent with a medium build, wearing a blue t-shirt and dark blue long jeans and black slippers. He was sitting on a chair in a wooden shed with his head leaning on his right shoulder. There were no marks of violence on his body, and an autopsy was ordered to determine the cause of death. Let's take a quick break. More news when we come back.
Reduxin Triple Action. Try its fresh orange flavor with no sugar. Delivers strong immune support with vitamin C, D, and zinc. Strengthen your defenses against viruses every day with Reduxin Triple Action. Reduxin. More than vitamin C, it's from Bayer.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
ChatGPT, I'm falling.
Failing grades? Contact Student Hub.
I ain't say failing, I say falling.
Then it's time to stop failing. Student Hub helps students succeed online. If school feels like a free fall, Student Hub helps you land on top.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle from the first restaurant in 1968 when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Welcome back. Starting with some cricket, the West Indies have the upper hand against Australia on their first day of the first test in Bridgetown, Barbados. Australia chose to bat first and lost Sam Constance for 3 at 8 for 1. They then lost 2 further wickets, Cameron Green for 3 at 14 for 2, and Josh Inglis for 5 at 25 for 3, with Shamar Joseph and Jaden Seals taking the wickets. At lunch, the Aussies are 65 for 3 with Usman Khawaja and Travis Head at the wicket. Well, staying with cricket, if it's reached on day one, is an accurate measuring stick, then the Primary Schools Cricket Festival is already off to a good start. Students from 16 schools put their talent on display as the Sports Company of Trinidad and Tobago culminates the 2025 cycle of its primary schools coaching program at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Tarupa. The coach program was delivered across all 7 education districts, with the festival as the final display of the fundamentals imparted to the students. Bringing greetings on behalf of the Minister of Sport, Permanent Secretary Beverly Reid Samuel, remarked about the value of the initiative.
Sport, and in particular the context of cricket, also helps prepare you for life far beyond the boundary, teaching and reinforcing critical social characteristics such as discipline, teamwork, resilience, and respect. Here at the primary school level is where the journey of national sport development starts.
Each participating school fielded a team of 15 students in a series of 10-over matches. Most outstanding students were selected from each school in the boys and girls categories for their performance, effort, and sportsmanship. The festival concluded today with another 15 schools exhibiting their skills. Let's take another break. More news when we come back.
If you could see what the future holds, you'd see that while things change, you've still got it. You are strong, resilient, inspiring, and you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it because you were made for more. Discover how Alive multivitamins by Nature's Way help you age vibrantly.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Hours after U.S. President Donald Trump announced a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, Israel struck a radar site north of Tehran. The move angering Trump and throwing the ceasefire agreement into turmoil. Here's the very latest on the conflict from CNN.
The night sky in Tehran lighting up as Israel launched attacks on Iran hours after a ceasefire was expected to take effect. The situation infuriating President Donald Trump, who helped facilitate the ceasefire between Israel and Iran.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.
Right before the ceasefire went into effect, Iran launching missiles at a residential building in Beersheba, Israel.
We arrived at a completely mess in this scene. There is a missile that directly hit one of the buildings, direct strike on the top of the building.
The president of Iran releasing a statement Tuesday, according to local media, saying, quote, Tehran is ready for talks and to defend the rights of the Iranian people at the negotiation table, adding Iran will not violate the ceasefire unless Israel does first. The current conflict began on June 13th when Israel launched multiple attacks aimed at destroying Iran's nuclear program and its military leadership. Nearly a week later, the U.S. attacked 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities in what the Pentagon called Operation Midnight Hammer. The White House saying it worked with Israel to end Iran's nuclear threat. But following this latest escalation, Trump becoming more critical of Israel.
I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload.
All of this comes as President Trump travels to the Netherlands for the NATO summit.
The world should be worried about this.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Let's check in with Jean-Marc Rampessad for your weather update.
We had an initially sunny start to the morning, but then some showers rolled in from the east, a few of them becoming heavy at times, especially over southeastern areas of Trinidad. The Saharan dust is still present, but the occasional shower can temporarily improve the air quality. For the remainder of the day, we can expect these brisk showers to continue, with 1 or 2 developing into thunderstorms during the afternoon. Tomorrow should be mostly dry, but then a wet period is expected from Friday through Sunday, associated with tropical wave number 10.
Thank you, Jamak. Well, thank you for joining us for a look at the day's developments so far. We will have these stories and much more in our major newscast at 7 p.m. today. Until then, have a great afternoon.
You're watching CNC3.
अच्छा, मुझे डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, देर हो रही है। इधर ही लगा दो ना।